Hello and welcome to Bears, Tea and Tarot, where two burly gays with big hearts and bigger mugs spill the tea on life, love, and the mysteries of the universe. I'm Graham Joseph Norton, your glitter-dusted mystic bear with a tarot deck in one hand and a chocolate biscuit in the other. And with me is Richard, my wonderful co-host and fellow bear, and the sensible sweater-wearing soul who stops me from summoning demons. Together, we're your spiritual agony uncles, here to laugh, cry, and occasionally get a bit cosmic. So pop the kettle on or pull up a cushion and let's get mystical. Hello, Richard. How are you?
Hello, darling. I'm good, but I love that intro. I love that new intro.
I tell
Where's the
you,
chocolate biscuits? That's what I want to know.
I hate them. I couldn't wait any longer.
You bugger. I love that thing. Have you ever seen Joe Brand talk about what biscuit eaters? She said there's two types of biscuit eaters. She said there's one that open a packet, take 3 out, put it on a plate, wrap the packet up, and put it away. Eat them. She said then there's everybody else, and it's like basically you eat the whole packet. So that's what
I'm one
done.
of those.
Yeah, it's
that's
terrible.
what we've done.
But good morning, good afternoon, and we're back at it. It was our Easter episode last week, which went down well. Anthony got a lot of good feedback. He loved it, so that was good. You were amazing. So yeah, and here we are, ready to take on the summer from now on, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say the weather here is absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning. I mean, 25 degrees in Ireland. I mean, wow,
Wonderful.
it's absolutely stunning. And as you know, I was away for
Well, I
the
was going to
weekend.
say, is that an Irish summer tan or from somewhere else?
It's a bit of a mix. So I was in Glastonbury at the weekend celebrating my birthday.
Lovely.
And yeah, I'm in therapy for that. So I was 46 last Saturday.
God love you.
And I know. And I was having a lovely time with some of my cult. They came away with me for my birthday, and we did kind of beautiful mystical sites of Glastonbury. We went to Stonehenge, which was amazing,
Really nice.
and literally there wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was stunning and really lovely. And then we did some of the stuff around Glastonbury, and we did all the mystical sites there, and it was kind of lovely because, sometimes they say like attracts like. Well, when we were there, like when we went to visit the Chalice Well Gardens, we kind of came up in our little rent-a-car and we pulled into the car park, and this person just came up to us and handed us a car park ticket. Said, "I only used it for an hour, but there's 3 hours left." So gave us that, and then another guy says, "Well, you need to go here and here and here." I noticed he had an ankh on him, and I said, "Oh, I love your ankh." And he said to me, "Oh," and he said to me, "Well, here, here, and here," because all the secret mystical stuff. And then same, a few other people would stop us and tell us all this kind of stuff when they realized, what the energy, like it was really cool. So, and it was definitely like the goddess was guiding us. So it was really nice. And then so it was a bit of a whirlwind, and then back to life on on Monday evening when I got back, and we went to Wells Cathedral the morning before we left, which was so beautiful. But I got a really weird photograph, and whatever way I took the stained glass window, the light refracted, and it looked like there's 3 angels floating in front of it. It's really cool.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
share that with us. We'll have to put that into the little article for this episode, maybe.
Exactly.
If you can.
And I can, yeah. I mean, it's on my camera phone. I'll send it to you. It was lovely. I mean, it was beautiful. And the Chalice Well was lovely. So there was a lot of nice little things. And except for the fact that on my actual birthday, when we went to have lunch, my friend Claire went to order my lunch. And so she went in, everybody ordered their lunch. She said, "You stay here, Graham, I'll get your lunch." Grand Francis, I sitting there. The lad comes out with all these fabulous meals, and I'm sitting here because we'd done quite a lot of walking, and I was hungry. There was no chocolate biscuits on site. And sitting there, and the lad comes out, and he goes, I said to him, "Where's my?" I ordered, because I was England. I ordered sausage and mash. I just fancied it, and he said, "I'll go check." And he comes back and he goes, "There's no one ordered any sausage and mash." She went, "Oh my God, I completely forgot."
Well, and now the world knows they're her mistake.
Exactly. So for my birthday lunch, I had a glass of prosecco and a packet of cheese and onion crisps, because the lad then proceeded to inform me that the kitchen was closed.
God love you. This is how you're keeping your lovely figure,
Laugh.
Graham. Obviously, love that.
Exactly. That and my personal trainer. She did bite me anyway about eating those sausages. So
That was her power sending over the water to you in Glastonbury.
well, as I said, I plan on a summer of sin. No, that sounds bad in August. But the vision board has struck again. Wait,
you and your fishing board. What's happened this time?
So I had a dream that I was to go to Delphi in Greece. And I was supposed to go. I remember I said I really wanted to go in April, but I couldn't get the tour. It was sold out and whatever. So then, lo and behold, my fabulous tour agent, Rebecca, she messaged me about 2 weeks ago and said, "Oh, the tour guides got back to me. I have a really interesting package route. You're interested in having a look at it." So I am going on a tour of Delphi, and then I'm having 5 nights in Mykonos, where I will be having a sea view in this gorgeous hotel right in the middle of the gay town.
Horrible.
Overlooking the sea. Horrible. I know it's going to be such a chore, and I'll be having my Shirley Valentine moment with my glass of prosecco, looking at the wall, going, "Hello, wall."
Lovely. Yes. Good for you, darling. See the power of vision boards, everyone.
I'm telling you. So I'll be hitting the gym because the boys and the bears won't know what's coming. Because all I intend to do for my summer holiday is wear SPF 30 and confidence.
Good for you, darling.
One has to laugh.
No, well, listen, you don't get anything without trying to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think some people just think they'll never get anything, so don't even try. But you've got to try. You've got to try and do stuff.
Funnily enough, that's what today is about for us. We've had a lot of letters, interestingly enough, and so so we've had quite a lot of interesting letters. So I'm going to pick 2 of them today because I think we've so many of them we can kind of space them out.
Yeah.
But it's about kind of like some people have become a little bit lost with the manifesting thing. So I thought that was an interesting one. We got 3 of those. So I thought, well, okay, let's pick one of them because it'll be a lead on for the others.
Yep.
And then we'll do, then we'll randomly pick from one of the other ones. There was a really sad one about someone who's a carer who I think needs a bit of help. So I think we might do that.
That sounds good. Okay. That sounds good. All right, sounds great. Sounds great. What tea are we drinking today?
I'm drinking my Barry's.
Okay.
When I was away, I was drinking PG chips. And it was okay. Yeah.
As I say, when you're in Rome or whatever, or
exactly
Glastonbury.
Exactly. But as I said, my love affair with Barry's, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be continuing. So I may be changing my brand of tea.
Interesting. Well, what options are there in Dublin? What's the big ones?
Well, there's Barry's or Lions, and then of course all the supermarkets have their own, and then you can go for sort of a bit more high brand. Oh, there's Bewley's. Bewley's tea is quite nice, so I might switch to that. So
to try something. Yeah, I'm back on Margaret's Hope today. I wanted something.
You look amazing. You've lost so much weight. You look fabulous.
A little bit. Yeah, thank you, love. Again, I'm not doing anything to do it. I've been eating healthier, more for my diabetes than for weight loss, but I guess that's a lovely side effect. But I'm not, I fluctuate up and down, like a few pounds up, a few pounds down, a few pounds up, but I feel great. And, the ring light, I finally found a nice light for myself. So that's making me look a bit healthier, I think. But
from above,
darling, from above. So yeah, so no, feel good. Lots going on. Work's good. Day job, Muggle World for me is good. So yeah.
And Bear World is all going good, and
Bear World is
you're having your game awards soon in LA.
That's right, gaming awards in LA, filming this week, and then the red carpet event in July. So that's nice. So yeah, lots going on. But I think we've had a bit of a lull, but I think we're again. I haven't done a vision board, but the power of positivity can really go a long way. I think I know we've talked about The Secret, and I know that The Secret itself is a bit. You have to be careful with, but I think the underlying, as you said, the manifestation, however that is and deciding to be positive.
Yeah,
it can be really tough. It's one of the toughest things, but I think if you can turn it on, or shake off the negative, even if you can't maybe push to the positive, like shake the negative off. It really helps, and it builds on itself. So it's been a lot of that in the last few weeks. So I'm very, very, very happy with that. And I think that, that's a nice energy to bring, and I'm enjoying doing this. We're getting lots of good feedback on the podcast. I know people want to be on it. I I've definitely got a future guest. That's too early for them to be on, I think. But I'll tell you more about that another day. But we've got a couple of people lined up for the future.
Yeah, and some people from the mystical community have even approached me and asked could they be on it too.
That's
So
wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you're going to hear this here first. Exclusive. I've been asked to become one of the experts for the Wholeness Network in the United States.
That's
So
wonderful, love.
yeah, they want me to kind of teach tarot and mysticism. So yeah, so I had a really cool chat with the two girls. They're really, really interesting ladies themselves.
Great.
So we did really, really deep, and they have a podcast that they've asked me on it, and says so we'll do it reciprocally.
That's wonderful. Wonderful,
Yeah.
darling. Great. Well, look, when this kind of comes out on the website, our website, we'll find the website for the Wholeness Network, and we'll give them a bit of a plug, so you can find it, folks. But that's great. Wonderful. Keeping it going. I think it's all good. Everything.
Exactly. So today, our guided meditation, interestingly enough, is going to be about walking in positivity.
Lovely.
So will we get going?
I think we should. Over to you, my love. Take us through it. I'll do my best not to fall asleep again, as ever.
So I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to close your eyes gently. And I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly release through your mouth. And again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And gently just bringing your awareness to your body. As you inhale and exhale, let your shoulders drop. Let the muscles in your face soften. Feel your whole body begin to relax. As you breathe in and out, and in and out. Now, imagine a soft golden light above your head. This light is pure positivity. It's warm and it's safe, like sunshine on a calm morning. And with your next breath in, imagine this light gently pouring down into the top of your head, flowing into your mind, clearing away any heavy thoughts or old worries. Feel it washing through you, bringing peace, clarity, and hope. Let it travel down into your heart. Feel your chest expand as this golden energy opens up to love, to gratitude, and to joy. Breathe in that goodness. Let it spread through your whole body. With each breath, this light fills you a little more, restoring and replenishing you. Let it flow from your heart into your arms, into your hands, into your belly, into your legs, and all the way down into your feet. You are glowing now, held in a field of light and positive energy. You are safe, you are loved, and you are supported. Now, gently repeat these affirmations in your mind with me. I welcome positivity into my life. I welcome positivity into my life. I welcome positivity into my life. I am open to joy, love, and abundance. I am open to joy, love, and abundance. I am open to joy, love, and abundance. I radiate peace and light to the world around me. I radiate peace and light to the world around me. I radiate peace and light to the world around me. And take one more deep breath in now. And slowly let it out. And when you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to the room, allowing this wonderful healing energy to flow through you for the rest of your day, filling you with gentle blessings and a smile in your heart. Wiggling your fingers and toes, gently open your eyes and come back to the room.
Sorry, just making sure in the same position as we come back there. Sorry about that. That was lovely as ever, Graham. Beautiful. Thank you.
Not a bother.
Good. Very good. Very good. Great. Well, I mean, I again love the positivity. It's mad how it works. And I was just remembering that a little again in the Muggle world. There was a problem that popped up. Yes, I think it was yesterday, or no, Wednesday, and I was like, it's going to sort itself out. It's going to sort itself out. It's not a problem. And I really was like, and really let it go. Solved. Could have been a big problem for next week, and it just got solved. I mean, I think it would have been solved anyway. I don't think I did anything, but I didn't let it bother me either. And I think that really helped, that you were like, people are on it, people are dealing with it. Don't worry about it. And it's sorted dead quick. So it's mad how it helps. And it helps your own psyche as well while you deal with things. So yeah, so thank you.
I mean, it doesn't, as we know, that what we focus on, we attract, and the more so if you focus on negative things, that's what you're going to attract towards you. So if you focus your thoughts on positive things, that's what you'll bring towards you. Now, that doesn't mean that things won't happen, but it's going to teach you resilience and how to deal with them. And if you're calm in yourself, you'll be able to overcome any obstacle.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. So going to our questions for today, we've had quite a lot, as I said earlier. So there's quite a few interesting ones. So there's a lot of lovely things. I mean, I think we'll go for the one. Where did I see this? And there was a couple of ones, people asking me about spirituality and kind of like they're tired of trying to be positive actually and manifest and things like that. So I kind of think that would kind of link in with this topic.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. There was at least 6 of them, so I kind of thought to myself, we'll just pick one because this will act as a lead on for all of those people.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard. It's hard when you're dealing with stuff, to shake it off and be positive. Believe me, I have my days. I really do. It's not easy. Some days, I think the one thing for me is even if you can't shake it off in the day, do your best to go to bed and wake up fresh. Sometimes it just feels the weight of it on any one day is too much, and I get it. I get it, and I've gone in just before we do do the reading. If you like, one of the toughest days I had. We don't really have a park near where I live, or it's too far to get to, but we have a cemetery, beautiful old cemetery nearby, and I don't think anyone gets buried there now. It's one of those where it's looked after, but I don't think it's. Some of the most wonderful headstones with some of the names you've never heard of, like they just don't. And it just going there and just going, I just need help. And just being around trees and peacefulness in the middle of a city, it really did help. And it changed things. It really did. So I urge anybody, just shake it off. Find a place.
Just go and be somewhere with nature, and just ground yourself into that.
Nature does wonderful things. It's mad how powerful it is.
Well, as I said, when I was in Glastonbury, we went to
Oh,
the Chalice Well Gardens, and it was the most beautifully peaceful experience. And they have these two trees. They're ancient yew trees, and they're supposed to represent literally the gateway into Avalon. Well, I tell you, when I walked through them, I literally could feel like I was stepping through a portal. The energy
yeah,
between the two of them
yeah.
was incredible. And we kept going back and forth just to feel the energy wash over us. But then we sat in this beautiful meadow, and there was only the sound of the birds and the insects and the water flowing. It was just magical. It was so peaceful. And yeah,
Wonderful.
it just does something to you. And it's a hot day, the sun was out, so beautiful. So
Lovely. Lovely.
yeah. So I'm going to do this for a start. There's two questions here that jumped out to me. So I'm going to read this, but this is going to act, excuse me, as a lead on for everybody. I'm about to sneeze. Am I? No. Okay, so there we go. So this is, again, it's about people who are getting a bit frustrated waiting on their goods to come to them, right? Because everything is in divine timing, but sometimes divine timing and our timing doesn't match up. So, we want the divine to hurry up.
Indeed. Indeed.
So this is an interesting one. So this is, hi bears, I've been doing the spiritual work, manifesting, visualizing, staying positive, but nothing's happening. Has the universe forgotten me? And that's from Tariq from London in the United Kingdom. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to do a 3-card spread for him. Okay.
Okay.
For everybody to clean on. So
All right.
I've got 3 questions. So I'm going to say, so what's happening behind the scenes? That's question 1. What I still need to release or learn. So that's going to be card 2. And then the energy that's on its way to me. Okay.
Great.
So, so Richard, I'm going to get you to act as if you're Tariq, because you're my vessel. You stop me summoning the demons. So I'm going to use you to link into that.
They're scared of me. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Especially when you haven't had chocolate biscuits.
Keep me from a biscuit.
Exactly.
Cookies for our American listeners.
Exactly.
I'll give you the screen as well, darling.
Yes, please. Thank you. And I'm going to switch the camera over.
Lovely.
Now, this is my right hand. Can you see this as my right hand?
Yes, it's in the right hand. Yeah, you're perfect as it is, darling.
Okay. So, Richard, I want you to tell me, I want you to focus your energy, and when you're ready, I want you to tell me to stop, okay? So just give me a second. Why is that not going back to... There we go, yeah. Not that I need to see my hands, but
Okay.
Right.
Okay, stop.
So the question is, what's happening behind the scenes? Okay, so I want you to tell me when you want me to stop.
Okay, stop.
Okay, top, middle, or bottom?
Bottom.
Bottom. Okay. Ooh, lovely. Okay. Now, what I still need to release or learn. Okay.
And stop.
Okay, top, middle, or bottom?
Top.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. And then the energy that's on its way to me.
Stop.
Okay, top, middle, or
bottom?
Bottom. And just in case anybody is wondering, I am using the Morgan Greer Tarot. I will change it for next time. Okay, so can you see all 3 of these cards?
Yes, looks great.
Okay, so for position 1, we have what's behind the scenes. So what is happening? Okay, it's the Knight of Swords, or the Page of Swords, should I say, the Valet d'Épée, right? So basically, the Page of Swords, pages always act as messengers, okay? So swords is the realm of the intellect. So basically, it's about you. You're getting your stuff together, okay? So you're kind of finishing up your apprenticeship, because look at this. Can you see the orange here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lovely.
So that is to do with, of course, our sacral chakra, our creative energy. So basically, you were in a time of apprenticeship and you weren't ready to move forward because you weren't listening to the guidance that you've got. So that's why things have been a bit delayed. Okay. But look at this. If we see here in the corner here, can you see that there's 3 pillars and one's knocked over?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the 4th pillar. So you're the way all systems are go, but you've used your creativity. Remember, 3 is the number of creativity to move past the blocks. So the block has fallen over, so that you're going to be able to move forward because you've listened to the thoughts represented by the clouds. And if you see, he has purple all over him. So that's the third eye. So you've listened to what divine guidance has been telling you to do. You're finally ready to step into your power to move forward. So basically, the energy is that you are getting your stuff together. And you're only now ready to move because you were finishing up your apprenticeship. Because remember, pages become what? Knights, which take action. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're gathering your strength. You were gathering your tools. So it just took time. And yes, we're all impatient because we want success tomorrow. But you needed this apprenticeship to grow. Okay. So you've knocked away your obstacles. So basically everything that you want. Remember, also, this is a fast-moving energy because it's swords. There's no slow energy here. So whatever you're looking for is about to manifest for you. You just sometimes it's the darkest before the dawn. We've put all the effort in and we're waiting, but then we forget. And then we start to question. So we kind of worry things and we block our own abundance. So this is basically, don't give up. It's literally about to go and turn a major turning point for you. Okay. But you needed to do this. You needed to go through this apprenticeship. But literally everything that you want is literally in front of you because this is the next thing. Okay. What I still need to release or learn. And this is the Four of Swords, right? So if we thought no, grow, let go, basically what this is saying, what you need to release or learn is you need to stop focusing on what you're missing. You've plenty of things in front of you. Yes, you're seeing all you're kind of saying, oh yeah, but I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do the other. This is about you focusing your thoughts and taking a breath. This is about, the knight is lying down on the tomb, but he's not seeing the sword in the distance, which is his abundance coming towards him, because he's too focused on the minute details in front of him, which are important. But now this is a time for you to trust the process moving forwards. You need to take a deep breath and just go, yes, I'm ready. So what you need to release is your fear, because you're focusing on the wrong things. You're like, this could go wrong, that could go wrong, the other could go wrong. And that's kind of blocking things coming towards you. Does that make sense, Richard?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, look at the colors. It's autumnal colors. It's that red, it's that orange, it's that yellow. So this is basically about you just having the courage of your own convictions. Take it. So you need to release your fears and press play, because sometimes we're kind of waiting for the big moment, but it doesn't happen. Sometimes we just have to take the leap of faith, and that's what I'm being told needs to happen, Tariq. You need to take the leap of faith and just trust, because again, look, we have clouds here and we have clouds here. So again, that represents the thought. It's the air element. Stop listening to the negative thinking. Take a deep breath and center yourself and press play, and it will work out for you, because the next thing is the energy that's on its way. Look, as I said to you, we have a page. Pages become knights. Now it's swords moving into wands. So basically, divine providence, you've used your thoughts to manifest what you want, because wands are the element of fire and creativity, right? And if we look at this knight, right, he's the wand here. There's usually 3 pyramids here, which again is using your creative energy, right? Because the pyramids represent that tree, and the trio of energies, right? Then you have the yellow. So that's your sense of identity, right? Can you see the salamander on his glove? Yeah, salamanders always represent transformation. Okay, so basically, once you start to listen, right, you find your voice represented by the blue. You find your fire, which is of course the wand, and your abundance starts to come to you, because you can see the leaves, look, growing off the wand. The griffin is an interesting one, because what is a griffin? A griffin is a mixture of 2 animals, an eagle and a lion. So strength and divine providence. Okay, remember, the eagle sees all. So basically, what it's saying to you is it flies above the crowd, but it's a divine bird. It represents spirit. So having the courage, represented by the lion, to listen to your spiritual guidance, to put your thoughts into action, and trust that this is all going to happen. And this is all very moving fast. Fast energy, because it's swords and wands, so it's the phallic energy. It is the energy of creation, but it's saying you have needed this period of time to adjust and to grow, so that you need to learn your skills. But basically, everything is in front of you. You just need to have the follow through to follow what you've been given, and take action on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
you're being protected on the journey because you're wearing armor. So you need to listen, and it's silver armor, so it's divine. So whatever it is that you want will manifest, but you need to put effort into it. You can't just expect, like, if it was a relationship you're trying to manifest, and you can't expect them to abseil through the window. If it's a job, you need to put out the applications, and you need to
yeah.
believe that you're the right candidate. Because if you go into a job going, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to get this," you're not going to get it.
No.
You
No.
know, because people read energy. Everybody in the world reads energy, and if you go in with the air of confidence and stuff, you're going to be the one they're going to hire.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like the old Chinese proverb. You know, a man without a smile should never open a shop.
Well, I love that. That's very true. Very true.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you have to show up in the world as you want to be seen.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what this message is from Spirit is about. It's you needed to learn your stuff. It wasn't just going to be handed to you. You know, all of these delays and stuff are there to teach you a lesson because maybe you weren't quite ready. But it's
Yeah.
about you had to learn the confidence and you had to learn those lessons. Sometimes they're very painful, but then what does that do? It helps us grow because it's like people who get everything handed to them from the start. They can't cope and then it all goes to mush.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this was a necessary growth period, the apprenticeship, but it is all coming very soon. But it's about you making and going forward with faith and not giving up because it is coming. Because it feels to me like the energies, you're just at the last hurdle where it's about to turn the corner.
Always the hardest, but yeah.
Exactly. And it is. Remember, it's always the darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
You know? And so many people give up just as they're about to get what they want. You know? I love that Florence Scovel Shinn has this thing. I was only listening to her this morning. And I was in the car, so I was playing an audiobook, and it was of all her stuff. And what was it? The walls of lack and delay now crumble away, and all that is mine by divine right comes to me now. And I give thanks and I rejoice, for I know that it is true.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
Very, very lovely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And those kind of things, like you have to be very confident in that you're on the right path, because if you question it, the universe will go, yeah, okay, fine. You know,
Yeah.
what we focus our thoughts on comes to us.
The universe listens too hard sometimes.
I know. Yeah, but remember, the universe hasn't got a sense of humor. It can't tell when we're being serious or not. So remember, as she would say, Florence Scovel Shinn would say, the word, your word is your wand. So be
Yeah.
careful with what you focus on.
Yeah.
Careful what you say to
That's a
yourself.
great.
It's a bit like if you hear something so many times, you believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You
Crazy.
know. I mean, I heard I was gay all the time, and look.
The universe will, like, yeah, we can't change that. That is what it is.
I'm joking, you know.
I know.
But yeah, did you see where I'm going with that one? So
Yeah.
again, that's the advice from the cards, and that will act as a lead on hopefully for all of those people. Just have faith. You are on the right path. And while sometimes the clouds are a little bit in front of us, we have to just have that faith to push through that, because we're following what we're being guided to do. And it's having the courage of your own convictions. But Tariq, if I'm looking at this, the delays and stuff were a necessary apprenticeship for you. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. So let's go on then. Let's go for. I thought this was kind of a little bit sad.
Okay.
Because again, I've heard kind of this even in clinic when people come to me. I'm going to say, yeah, it's a bit sad because there's a lot of people, particularly of our age group, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the silver foxes plus. The Arctic bears. That's what we are. We're Arctic bears.
Well, thank you for including me in your age range, because you're younger than me, so I'll take it.
Shh! I didn't betray you. You betrayed yourself. Okay. So,
Wow.
So dear bears, I'm a full-time carer, and whilst I love my mum, this is very sad, whom I care for, I feel like I've completely lost myself. How do I find a little piece of me again? Lorraine from Glasgow, Scotland.
Well, Lorraine, we're here to help, my love. Let's see what we can do. You're in good hands with Graham. So, do you want me to say stop at some point, my love?
Yes, so I'm going to read out the three questions I came up with for this.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm calling this the Remembering the Self spread. Oh, look, everything's all tingly. Isn't that quite nice?
Lovely.
So what I'm going to say is, the first question is, what part of me is calling to be reclaimed? So Richard, what part of me is calling to be reclaimed? You tell me stop.
Stop.
Okay, top, middle, or bottom?
Top.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Now, where can I make space for myself? This is question 2. Where can I make space for myself?
Stop.
Okay, top, middle, or bottom?
Middle.
I'm being drawn to that one. Oh, loving that one. Okay, this is lovely because it's all major arcana so far. Okay, so third, how to care for me without guilt. Ooh, now that's a toughie.
Oh gosh. It's weird. I'm going to say stop, but it's weird because I can give so much advice without the cards as well. You know, there's lots of lovely things, but we'll come back to that. But I'm going to go for middle again. I'm called to the middle myself again.
Middle. Okay. I love that. Okay. So again, can you see the 3 cards?
Yeah, perfect. Love.
Okay. So what part of me is calling to be reclaimed? Well, I mean, that's the Chariot, you know? So the Chariot is, again, look, we've balance, balance, and balance in each of the 3 cards because you have the 2 horses, you have the 2 jugs, and you've got the weighing scales, okay, with the hands outstretched.
Yeah.
So this whole reading is about finding balance because you're trying to reclaim yourself, the part that's missing, and that's what's going where your life feels out of kilter. But look, we also have the star here and we have the star here. That's quite interesting. This is symbolically, it's quite all about hope. Okay, so that's what it feels to me very much. It's like this person has lost hope that their life is going to get better. So the part of them that's being lost is about is the Chariot, which is number 7, which is knowledge and experience, but it's also about their life journey. They feel like their life has come to a halt because what they really want is that sense of adventure, that sense of freedom, the sense to do things, because there's no balance, because basically while they're caring for their parent, their whole life feels like it's on pause. Okay, but you know, sometimes we have to look at the blessings in these situations, which is also very difficult because sometimes I know this can be an awful thing to say, and I'm saying this, but it's about with love that sometimes, you know, it can be a time that we can reclaim with our parent that we'll never have. It's a special privilege to help someone when they're in these situations, you know, and sometimes you have to look at it as a blessing. But this is about you having that sense of adventure and freedom and your own independence and will. Okay, because you're having to sacrifice that. That's the part that you need to reclaim. That part of yourself that listens to what do I want, your own needs. Again, this is echoed throughout the whole reading. Okay, so this is also Pisces. So you're not listening to your emotions. Now, I don't know if you can see that, Richard, but if I lift up the card, can you see on his belt, there's the sort of 2 little squiggles just here. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see them? They look like, they represent the constellation of Pisces.
Oh.
Okay. And Pisces is, of course, is a water sign, you know, so it's emotion. Okay. So what I'm saying to you, this is your emotions are out of balance. Okay. Because you're not tending to your own needs. So the orange here is about your sacral energy, your sacral chakra. It's your creativity. So you're not nurturing that part of you, that private part of yourself that's just for you. So what it's saying to you is that you need to start doing things that bring you joy. You know, even if it's only for an hour a week to go out and meet someone for a coffee or something, this is what you need to be doing. That creative spark, that thing that brings you joy, because you're sacrificing so much of yourself. Okay, so again, it's asking you to take action on that, to reclaim that sense of adventure, even maybe if it's just go on a holiday, because look for respite, whatever, you know, for the parent. You need this time for yourself, and you need to stop feeling guilty because, as I would say to everybody, you can't draw from an empty well.
Absolutely.
And what good to your mum are you going to be if you can't function in the world?
Yeah. 100%.
So again, it's about he has the green breastplate, so it's about the healing of the heart. It's that healing of the heart that needs to be done. So what I say to you then is this: we're moving on to the second question, which is, where can I make space for myself? Well, again, look at that. We've got a 7 going to an 8, right? Because we've got 17, which becomes 1 and 7, which then becomes 8. Okay. So, and look at that. We have 8 stars. And we have the stars here, which is hope. Okay. But 8, and we have 4, we have 3, and we have 1. Okay. And we have Thoth here, who is the god of magic and writing, the scribe of the gods in ancient Egypt. Okay. Represented by the ibis. So it's kind of telling you that your story is not over, that you need to just remember that this is about giving and taking. While everything seems to be stuck at the moment, your time is coming back. You will have rewards, because this is about, Persephone is the goddess of the underworld, who's this naked woman. Okay. And remember, when Hades took her into into the underworld, the world went dark because her mother, the goddess of the harvest, Demeter, froze the world searching for her. But she fell in love with Hades and didn't want to leave him. So this is about, she's also a goddess of death and transformation. But she pours water into the earth, and she pours water into the water, and she has one foot in both worlds. If you see, she has the foot in the grass, she has the foot in the pond. So that's about balance, about give and take. So you have to start listening to your emotions, and you have to find that moment that brings you joy, even if it's only, as I said, going for a tea or a coffee with a friend. You need to start remembering your identity matters too. You need to start writing the story of your life in whatever way you can do. Because remember, look at this. We've got 1, we've got 4, and we've got 3. Okay, so remember, 1 is the goal, right? It's the thing that we most want. 4 is, again, stability or stagnation. And 3 is, again, making that creative choice. Much as we had in the earlier card where the pillar was knocked over to make from the 4 to the 3. So what it's saying to you is that you need to start finding something that brings you stability, something just for yourself outside of the house. You need to do this by nurturing yourself, even if it's just go and have a spa day, because you're allowed to do this, but it's about finding balance, because it's like you've lost your sense of identity, because all you feel, as I said, from this is that you are a carer. You've lost yourself. So you need to start trying to find yourself. And this is a card of healing. Okay. Nurturing. You need to do whatever it is, even if it's only 10 minutes a day, to read a book in peace, or maybe try to see if somebody can come in to give you a break for an hour or two. You need to start doing this so your whole identity just doesn't become a carer for this person. There's always something out there that you can find to help you. You just need to trust and ask the universe. So again, because with the water and the green grass, this is the realm of the known. We're moving into the unknown. You have to trust. But when you start to make space for yourself, everything will start to fall into place. Because again, the most important thing is here, you cannot be of use to anybody if you are exhausted. So everything will start to flow once you look after your own needs first. I remember when I was training to be a therapist, psychotherapist, because I had to go to therapy a lot. You have to do that when you're training. And I remember my guy said to me, he said, Graham, remember this, you first after me. Why do you think they get you to put the oxygen mask on your face first on the plane? Because
Absolutely.
of no use if you're drowning or suffocating or whatever.
Yeah.
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 If you're on the fumes, you can't help anybody else. So that's what you need to do in this. You need to start putting your own needs first. I know it's hard. I know it's easier said than done. But if you don't make the effort, you'll never be able to do it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then the final card is how to care for me without guilt. It's about making little steps. And remember, everything is give and take, because this is a Six of Pentacles. Okay, it's following your heart. Do something that warms your heart. As again, it doesn't have to be like I'm going off for 6 months to Jamaica or whatever. It's just about you using your own creativity, finding that spark. Because look, the orange there, and then you have the turquoise, which is over the heart chakra. Okay, so it's all healing. Once you start to do this, your heart will heal and you'll recharge and you'll find balance, and then you'll be able to help all the people in front of you. Okay, so you have to nurture yourself while you're doing this. There's a very beautiful film that came out. It's very moving. It's very funny. It's an Irish film. It's called Four Mothers. I went to see it a few weeks ago, and it's about this gay guy that he's a writer, and he's looking after his mother who had a stroke. And all the cast are either gay men or older women, and so he's looking after his mother, and two of his friends go on holidays, right, and dump him with their mothers, right? And then the next thing, he rings the therapist, and the therapist does the same thing. So he dumps his mother on top of him too. So they all go off to party in Gran Canaria Pride, leaving him to look after the four women. And he's trying to write a book and stuff, again, nurturing the creativity. So it's very moving and very funny. They actually even go to see a medium in the middle of the movie, which is very, very funny, that whole scene. Because I was like, one of my friends turned around to me, is that what happens when they go to see you? No. But it was good. But this is what this is telling you. You have to start doing something for yourself, because you need to remember you are just as important in this. Because what would happen if you sacrifice all of your identity, and God forbid, when the time comes, what will happen then? It's now you need to do it. And I'm going to say to you, Lorraine, I said, do you think your mother would want you to feel like this, or that she's a burden?
Yeah.
No, she would want you to live your life and be happy, wouldn't she?
It's interesting, Graham, because I think you suddenly you hear these stories of like this daughter's caring for a mother, and it's kind of the roles are reversed where she's now the parent, and it's like I always think parents, when find a way to get babysitters or find a way to get someone to look after you for for that time or whatever, and I think that there may be guilt there, but I think parents at that moment know that they need to do things, and I think if you could take that on, and as you said, it's finding that respite, finding a person to help for a few hours or something. And I think that's it. People want to help. It's funny because people do want to help. And I think a lot of people say, oh, how can I help? And a lot of people say, oh, it's fine, I've got it, I don't need help. And it's that kind of
but see, that's it. People feel bad for asking for help. You shouldn't, because we are creatures that we get on better by helping each other. And like, if it's only for an hour or two every now and again, no one's going to really mind.
No, and I mean, even if, I don't know, obviously this lady's set up, but if she's at her mother's house and the mother's upstairs, and like, invite people over for dinner. You're not leaving the house, you're there keeping an eye, but have a dinner party where people come over and you can be social,
bring life into the house. Exactly.
Yeah.
Your
mother,
there's many ways.
So I mean, I got so many ideas myself, so forgive me, Lorraine.
But you see, that's what we're here for. Like, I have the mystical answers, you have the practical ones.
Well, somewhat, it's just interesting what you, I mean, we all go through it. We all go through like bits of guilt and stuff, but it is, as you said, I think the biggest part of it is you can't pour from an empty jug. You've got to fill up with your own energy, because then you can deal with maybe the tougher days, because you've had the respite, because you've had refilled your own energy up, and as you said, the mum would want that, would want you to be, I know it's never an easy situation when you're caring for a parent, but you've got to find a way through. You've got to shake off the guilt, because it sounds like you want to care. It's not like you're trying to walk away. You're trying to find a way to care and feel, but and I think there are ways to do it. And it's, as you said, even if it's an hour a day or an hour every few days, just something to and build
something for yourself. Exactly.
But anyway, that's just my thoughts. Lovely, Lorraine.
So, okay. Well, with that then, Richard, will we do the clead on for the week ahead before we come back?
If you're ready to go, let's go straight into it. Lovely.
Yes. Yeah. So Lorraine, look, we're wishing you well. Tariq, we're wishing you well, and anybody who this affects. again, promise you, just have that bit of faith, take action. Again, Tariq's story is slightly similar in the fact that it's about you putting yourself first and trusting, you know. And this, you know, people feel selfish. Oh, you know, my mum did this for me, my mum did that for me. Yes, she did, because that was her job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the roles are reversed now. So
And she
you
took
need
breaks,
to do the
probably.
same for you.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
She took breaks. She found someone to babysit while she went out for a night out because she needed it. And, you know,
Exactly.
yeah, you got to
And
do the
no one
same.
will judge you. And if people do judge you, then they don't mind. People who love you will support you.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and anybody who says, "Oh, you didn't mean anything," that, like, you know, guilt is a wasted emotion. The thing I'm going to tell it, I was only telling one of the kids in work today. I said to them, I said to the group, I said, shame. I said, I want you to think about this about shame. Shame is when you've allowed someone to tell you a lie about how you live your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no such thing as shame.
No.
No. And it's okay to be healthily selfish.
Yeah. Because we're our own. We've got to take care of ourselves. We can't help others if we're not settled ourselves. It's you know. Are you looking for me to say? You're ready for me to say something.
Yes. So this is going to be our next our reading until we have the next episode. So we're going to do No Grow, Let Go.
All right.
So with the energies that are going on. So top, middle, or bottom?
Top.
Oh, lovely. How lovely is that? Okay.
The Page of Cups, is that?
It's the King of Cups.
Oh, the King of Cups. My apologies. Wow. Stop. Middle.
Feeling drawn to this. Oh my God, the Chariot again. Loving this one. And it's actually kind of thematic for what we've been discussing.
Yeah.
Go on. And
Stop.
what we need to let go. Okay. And
I'm going to go for the middle again, please.
You're going to go for the middle. I love this. Okay. The tarot never lies. Okay. So in the No position, we have the King of Cups. In the Grow position, we have the Chariot. And in the Let Go position, we interestingly enough have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. So let's just look at it as a little snapshot, right? We have a king, we have a king, and we've I suppose what would you call it? A carpenter or somebody like that. It's a craftsman. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for, right? So the King of Cups is someone who looks after their emotions. It's someone who listens to the wisdom of their soul to guide them forwards, listening to their emotions. Okay, so this is usually a counselor, and so depending on the reading, but in this sense, it's about what we need to know. So it's about we need to master our own emotions and take time out to look after them and follow the guidance that we're being given intuitively to move forward. So we are, you know, in an emotional time, but it's about trusting that we're moving forward and stop giving into fear. Okay, because once we start to drink from life, life will give back to us. Okay, so that's what we need to know. We need to find our voice and not be afraid to talk about our feelings or listen to the guidance that we're getting, to act on things. We need to stop worrying about what other people think and follow that energy forwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because again, look, the yellow robe, that's about the solar plexus chakra. It's your identity, because you need to listen, because you need to listen to this, because it's about you reclaiming yourself. Again, it's that hope, that optimism, because remember, yellow is also the color of positivity, which is what all today is about. So to reclaim that, we need to listen to our emotions and calm the fear, because the snake represents transformation, but it also represents wisdom. So we are on the path of transformation, but we have to follow our intuitive guidance represented by the water, but also listen to our emotions. We know what's bad for us, so we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. We need to take a breath and move forward, following the intuitive guidance. Because the star then is what we need to grow, is that sense of adventure. We need to listen to our willpower. We need to trust that what we're trying to do is manifesting for us. Again, it's that orange chakra energy. It's again sexual energy, willpower, moving forward. Again, sublimating the ego with because we've got the moon crossing the sun here on the staff, if you can see that. So it's again listening to your intuitive voice, knowing that what you're asking for, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. You just have to trust that what you're trying to do is going to manifest. And it's about remaining balanced while you're in the process of transformation. Okay.
Lovely.
And then finally, this is quite interesting because this is a very positive card, but we have it in the let go position. And I think it's here is because, again, remember, balance is the key. All work and no play makes Jacka
God, a poor boy?
dull boy.
Dull boy. God,
Yeah.
I've never said that for so long. But yes, you're a dull boy.
Yes. Yeah. And we've again 7 going to 8. So use your knowledge and experience, trust in your guidance that everything is going to work out, but you also have to have that balance. So it's here in the let go position. It's again finding your voice. Remember the blue on the sleeve, that everything is going to be perfectly fine for you, but you need to stop pushing and pushing and pushing because you're burning yourself out. Again, much like Lorraine, you need to start remembering that, no man is an island. You can reach out and ask people for help, especially while you're in the process of developing. But you also need to remember why you're doing this. What is the reason that you want to work so hard?
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to stop and smell the roses. Okay.
Very true. Very, very true.
And enjoy the little moments along the way, because we lose sight of things that way. Hence the King of Cups over here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been an interesting day today.
Definitely.
Yes, I'm going to change my camera back with the power of magic.
There we go.
Show off my tan again.
There we go. Wonderful. I mean, it's such. I'm so. It's so lovely to get the emails because you're never quite sure if someone's going to email in. So it is really nice that we get them in, and I hope we
keep continuing.
We do continue, and that there's no question too strange or silly or send them in. I mean, it's interesting that I think every time we've had questions, we've had several people with the same thought or the same issue, which is great because then we can answer more than one at the same time, which is nice.
Yeah, which is nice.
So it's great. And that Cledon at the end, I'm always a bit like, oh, go on.
This card came out for Lorraine.
Oh,
so again, it's about the 6 of Swords. So it's moving into safety. So I'm telling you, that's about a journey. So you need to take some time out for yourself. That is what you need to do, because everything feels turbulent and chaotic here. The choppy waters. The 6 of Swords, remember, is about 2 and 4. So it's about making that choice to find your own stability. Once you use your creativity and your energy, you'll manifest what it is that you want, and you move into the promised land, or the land of safety. But there is people that you're not asking. This is what I'm feeling. You're not asking somebody for help that you could do, because remember the oarsman in the back carrying you into safety. So there are people that you can rely on to help you.
I wonder, great. I mean, Lorraine, forgive me. My tuning in that I do ever so differently, but I wonder if you feel it's not so much the guilt of you not doing something. You don't feel, you feel guilty that you asking for the help almost is kind of admitting that you can't cope, or you can't, and you don't want that to be seen out to those people you want to ask. But actually, being able to cope is the asking. Showing that you need that recharge of your batteries, as anybody does, as we all do. We all, whatever we do, we all need that recharge or that downtime or whatever. And I think they'd understand that. So have that confidence. Is great. I mean, Graham just found it right away, and that there's people around you ready. They're trying not to intrude. They're trying not to insult you by asking, but you reach out, they'll be there. It doesn't have to, as Graham said, it doesn't have to be for 6 months. It's can you look after somebody for an afternoon while I just go and do the shopping without thinking?
And when you go to the shopping, go and do your shopping. And all shops nowadays generally tend to have like a coffee shop. Sit there for 20 minutes on your own and read a book. Yeah.
It's amazing the power that can give.
Amazing. Yeah, or meet a friend for a cup of tea there, whatever it is you need to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So there we go, Richard.
Wonderful,
so hopefully we're going to have our very special guest for our next episode.
Yeah, I'm
very excited.
I've reached out to somebody that I think both would bring a lot to the table, but also I think Nick would really benefit from a reading. So I'm hopefully speaking to them today. If they're not our next guest. Yes, exactly. So I think they're interested. They've said yes, they want to do it. They're just a very busy person, and I should say no more.
You can't tell me.
But if not them, I'll find somebody else, and they'll push them into the future
Date,
kind of
yeah.
thing. So it's just
Ooh, I'm very
working out
excited.
calendars and all of that, because they're in a different time zone to the two of us as well. So that
Okay,
kind of
wow.
changes the, we've made this work, so it's about
Mhm.
whether they can slot in. But we'll have that discussion. But if it's not on the next episode, they will be sometime in the future. So I'm still excited.
And as always, Richard doesn't tell me who we're seeing until literally they arrive in the studio, so I can't guess or anything.
I'm going to say very little again until that moment. I'll give you a little bit of knowledge, but as you said, I'm not telling you so you can go and, not that you would, but there's no.
No,
No,
we're very Tyler Henry in this. Yes, exactly. What comes true comes true.
As I said, they're just a busy person in a different part of the world. There's as much as I'm saying.
Perfect.
And we'll see if we can get them for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, it'd be
yay.
Another 2 weeks. What am I doing 2 weeks time? Yeah, I'm all right. I was kind of think, what am I doing? But yeah, next 2 weeks time ish.
Okay.
The next
we'll have
one.
our next episode. Okay.
Yeah,
well, we'll talk in the meantime. And
Indeed.
Thank you for listening, watching, whatever way you view our podcast. Consume our podcast. That's the word I'm looking for. And we will see you all on the other side. And stay healthy and loved and abundant.
Lots of love. And don't forget to email in any thoughts or questions and feedback.
Info.
We'll take that too.
Exactly. Even suggest a tea brand. That would be quite fun.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes. Tell us your favorite teas and all of that, because it looks like Graham needs help with finding a new tea. So we shall try some different ones that you all recommend. I think that's a great idea. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks, everyone. Thanks so much for watching and listening. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.